Hello Internet friends, welcome to the Legion Alpha Beta First Pass coverage summary for the Subtlety Rogue. Now, I will preface this by saying, right out of the gate, at this stage, when you're watching this video, Blizzard has openly said there will be no changes coming to the Subtlety Rogue. They'll be doing more revisions, talent changes, spec stuff, whatever. They've heard the feedback, they know it's a thing. People aren't really excited about this, but this is the first pass, so I'm going to record this. I did 2.5 hours of testing or so, and go through what it's like now, because then when it changes in the second pass and the third pass, we'll know where it was. We'll know where it used to be. So, and again, of course, as you go over this real quick, I'll throw some shurikens in the background and rah, shuriken storm. If you have not seen any of my previous testing, or you're looking for a spec that I may have done, but you're not sure that I have done, please refer to my channel guide. Link is on my Twitch page, or you can type !guide in my Twitch chat. Additionally, you'll be able to find the entire VOD of my testing and a link to my Google document full of notes and bugs that are things that are not working properly with the Rogue currently, the Subtlety Rogue. Not as many things are broken as the Arms Warrior, but a lot of things are kind of broken. Like this old Jimmy Jam. Oh, death from above. Oh, death from above. You silly, silly thing, you. So anyway, pull this up real quick for you, and we'll go over the actual passives in the class. Normally, Shadow Techniques, auto attacks have a chance to generate a combo point. I was also told this synergizes with your artifact weapon. You'll get lots of combo points just by auto attacking. Just a chance. Just happens. This does not work right now, though, because the new combo point system on the Rogue, it gives the target your combo point, so it just fizzles and disappears forever, so it doesn't work. Shadow Dance has been totally reworked. I think it's kind of neat. Other rogues told me today during testing that they don't like it at all. It feels kind of like, eh. I think it's kind of neat, though. So your finishing moves have a 20% chance per combo point, or at 5, 100% chance. Obviously, at 6, if you take that talent, it'll be more than 100%. To enter and activate Shadow Dance for 3 seconds. Shadow Dance will allow access to all stealth-based abilities, but will not break when you auto-attack or take damage. The take damage part is currently, like, wrong. If you take damage, it does go away. Like, if someone's hitting you in melee range, it just goes away immediately. So that's not incredibly accurate. But it synergizes with just that, like, as you finish a combo of points, you go into Shadow Dance for 3 seconds. More so, that just means you get, like, one ability usage that requires stealth, which we'll go into more in a little bit. And then your mastery is Executioner. However, Slice and Dice is gone. So all you'd have now is the increased damage done for your finishing moves. You also have Fleet-Footed, which is 50% passive movement speed, and you take reduced falling damage, as it were. So that's it. The other passes I have right now are from talents. Shuriken Toss is baseline, as I showed earlier. It throws these little shadowy shurikens out there. There's no sound effect currently. There it goes. That double hit was because of my undead passive. So Shuriken Toss is passive. Not passive, but it's a base ability. So you can gain combo points from range. You also have Shuriken Storm, which is interesting because Shuriken Storm doesn't do a lot of damage right now. Shuriken Storm also reads that it will apply your active poisons. No active poisons exist for Subtlety. There are no poisons at all for sub-rogues. There are no poisons at all, I believe, for Outlaw either. I think all the bleeds and all of the poisons are on the Assassination Rogue. But it 35 energy, it does damage, but each target it hits gives you 1 combo point. So if I hit these 2 dummies, I get 2 combo points. Again, 2 combo points. So it's kind of interesting that, like, AoEing or cleaving with Shuriken Storm gives you more single target damage, because you'll gain combo points that you can use for single targeting. Shadow Step is baseline, 30-second cooldown, 25-yard range. You can use it in or out of stealth. Sap's still here, Pickpocket's still here, Picklock is still here, Kidney Shot is still here, Kick is still here, of course, Feint is still here doing amazing things for Rogue's Evasion is still here, Cloak of Shadows is still here doing stuff. It was, I do have a note real quick for Cloak of Shadows, I believe. Was the cooldown changed? Oh no, Sprint was changed. The Sprint changes here, because you lose, there's no more Burst of Speed in Legion. So Sprint is now a 30-second cooldown that lasts for 8 seconds, roughly a 22-second effective cooldown because it lasts for 8 seconds. And cheat death was the other thing that changed too, which we'll go over to talents real quick for things that have changed that I noted. Cheat death now has a 2-minute internal. On live, that has 90 seconds, I believe. So, but cheat death is the same thing, it just has a longer cooldown. Elusiveness is still here as well. If you're wondering as well where Recuperate went, Recuperate is now built into Soothing Darkness. It's that you heal for 3% of your max HP every 1 second while stealth is active. And yes, that does work with Shadow Dance. So if I go up here and fall down and take some damage, right? And you'll watch my HP here. You won't actually see it pop up on my screen, but when I go into Shadow Dance right now, I'm going to heal myself. Ready? Boop, 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 boop. There's no healing component exactly, which I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, or it's supposed to like give you a pop-up for healing, because it says you heal, but it might just be like regen oriented. I'm not sure. It could be like that. It could be something different. I don't know exactly what it is, but it heals you, so that's what your Recuperate is. So it's basically like a passive that's always existing. I'll take a moment real quick here to go over some more spell animations. What you're seeing right now is the 2-part component of Nightblade, which is basically crippling poison plus rupture. Nightblade costs combo points, 25 energy. It deals shadow damage over the course of the duration, and as you auto-attack the target with the dot up, you will give them the 50% slow for 8 seconds. So again, crippling poison as you auto-attack them with Nightblade up, and Nightblade just does damage over time. And Eviscerate is your other combo point spender, just does lots of damage, of course, as Eviscerate does. Also to note, Backstab has no target requirement for like positioning, but if you are behind the target, you do get the 30% increased damage. I'll go show you some animations again real quick here as well. If you haven't seen the Outlaw Rogue, this is your Crimson Vial, or as I like to call it, it's the Estus Flask from Dark Souls. It's an Estus Flask. It's great. It's your built-in health stone cooldown. I think all the rogue artifacts to some degree, or at least the outlaw one, like hurts you. But for subtlety anyway, you use Crimson Vial to just heal yourself when you take damage. 30-second cooldown, 30% maximum HP. So if you want to combine Soothing Darkness plus Crimson Vial, a pretty good amount of like self-healing for the Subtlety Rogue, honestly, because you're going to be in and out of Shadow Dance a lot. So imagine you can also vanish on a 2-minute cooldown. So, which is also one of the other things to note. Vanish is a 90-second cooldown on live right now in Warlords, but you don't have the perk anymore because perks are removed in Legion. So it's back to a 2-minute cooldown. Slight nerf to Vanish. Maybe it's like a artifact perk where it reduces the cooldown. It could be. I'm not sure. I don't play a rogue. I'm just testing all the specs. You know how I do. So I will put up the dot again, and I will go back into Shadow Dance here real quick. I'll put this dot up. There we go. And now it's a Shadow Strike, and then I can keep going. Doing the thing. The basic rotation of the class is like incredibly... People were saying it's very, very boring and flat. But you do gain a lot of combo points with the synergies from the daggers, which I don't have right now. So it's a little slow. And again, if you're looking at my combat log right now, you'll see Shadow Technique sometimes pop up. That's what should give me the combo point. The Rogue should get it, but it gives it to the target. That's a new Cheap Shot animation, by the way, which we've been calling Cheap Bonk. Cheap Bonk! Bow! I love it. I think it's so satisfying to bonk your target. And Kidney Shot's the same, though. So like the... Bonk! It's great. It's wonderful. Personally, I think it's pretty great. If I haven't said that already. And here's Death from Above again. It does the damage. The damage is there. It does the 2-part damage component. But Death from Above doesn't make you go back to your target. I was talking about thematically, I think Death from Above doesn't make a whole lot of sense for the sub-rogue. If it did like some like shadowy poof explosion and then the rogue like descended from the heavens with like a shadowy 2-handed blade, but like he put his daggers together and like a shadow sword appeared, and like Death from Above for like outlaw rogue should make like a AoE explosion of like gunpowder and they fly up into the air and they drop bombs on the target or something like that, you know, something piratey. And Mark for Death is still here while we're talking about Death from Above. Mark for Death is still here, but you get a lot of combo points as a sub rogue. So will this be useful? And then I can't really show you Relentless Strikes because it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. It should work every time you enter stealth. You should gain 40 additional energy. However, caveat to that is that whenever you go into Shadow Dance, right? Whenever you go into stealth in that regard, you do gain... Whoa, where did that go, actually? That's a good question. Because there is a component... Right here, Master of Shadows, sorry. That's your other passive. You immediately gain 60 energy when you enter stealth. That does work with Shadow Dance. So if you combine that with Relentless Strikes, essentially you gain 100 energy every time you Shadow Dance. But again, all you can really do when you Shadow Dance is hit either Cheap Shot or Shadow Strike, right? So Shadow Strike is basically Shadow Step, but it does damage. And it awards 1 combo point where Shadow Step is just movement, and with a small sprint. So this is the boop, and then Shadow Strike, which looks like one of the animations from Killing Spree, but it still looks cool. It's got the purple little entrails on your daggers there. It looks neat. But that's really all you can do when you go into Shadow Dance right now, is you just do this, and then you do that. Which is easy and simple and straightforward, I guess. But I guess when you have... Maybe it'll feel more engaging when you have tons of combo points just overflowing all over the place. Which, speaking of combo points, I do have Anticipation currently talented. Which Anticipation gives you the 3 extra combo points that sit right here. Boop, boop, boop. So when you use 5, if you have 3 in reserve, they'll just pop down. Whereas Vigor is this base energy and then energy regeneration. And Deeper Stratagem makes all your combo point moves use 6 combo points. So your Eviscerate would do more damage. Night Blade would last longer, do more damage with the duration. Death from Above does not synergize with it at all. Kidney Shot would go to a 7-second stun. I think Deeper Stratagem is pretty cool myself, but I was told that you can still, like, lose a lot of combo points in the sub-rogue. So Anticipation helps you, like, not lose them. Like, it's combo point protection, basically. And if you have shadowy techniques going off on your auto attacks, and your daggers give you combo points as well, and you have tons of energy coming out of every time you Shadow Dance anyway, it's just like this, like, cycle. It just perpetuates. On the top of the cycle, if you take Relentless Strikes, even more energy, right? I have Alacrity currently right now, which is whenever you use a finishing move, is a 20% chance per combo point to get you 1% haste for 20 seconds up to 25 times stacking. So the math there is that the more combo points you use, the more combos you use, combo finishers you use, and then the more haste you stack up to, and that increases your auto attack speed, which increases your shadow techniques, which increases your passive on your artifact weapon in the future, so you get more combo points. You also get more energy regeneration because of haste gives you energy regeneration. So it's just fast, energy, energy, energy. Premeditation makes your Cheap Shot and Shadow Strike give you 1 additional combo point. I felt this is kind of fun. It gives you, like, whenever you go into Shadow Dance, you use Shadow Strike and you get 2 combo points, not 1. Enveloping Shadows, however, is this new deal where it takes 25 energy and up to 5 combo points, but what you do is you'll use 5 combo points, and then over the next 20 seconds, or once every 2 seconds for 20 seconds if you want to break it down, you'll gain a combo point because it'll give you back twice as many points as you spent on Enveloping Shadows. Which, I guess that's pretty cool, right? I use 3 right here. I'll eventually earn 6 back over the course of this buff. So you can see, even with just this move, this just Enveloping Shadows, you're gonna have lots of combo points just flowing out like crazy. It's like a different version of Slice and Dice, because Subtlety Rogues aren't about attacking necessarily faster. They're all about using finishers. They're all about getting in there and using multiple finishers all the time. That's their goal. So this gives you more finishers because you have more combo points, because you kind of have like an extra resource building combo points in the back end while you're also building your own combo points, which if you're into combo points, then we gave you some combo points on your combo points. So I don't know, it gives you this little purpley glow too. That's the other little weird thing about this spec, is that it's hard to test without Shadowy Technique working, or Shadow Technique, sorry, because it doesn't work. You can't test how often this will proc. But we'll see in the second pass, I'm sure. Tangled Shadows is that Nightblade's speed decrease is now 70%, up from 50. Per on the week is that you do the 10% extra damage when they're stunned by Cheap Shot or Sap for their first attack, or by Kidney Shot. And Strike from the Shadows means your Shadow Strike is a micro stun. It does a 2-second stun, which could be good, could be terrible, could be not great for PvE because of diminishing returns, but could be bad for PvP too. But considering that you can vanish and then Shadow Strike is a gap closer, because at 30-yard range, it gives a micro stun when you catch up to somebody. Could be cool for PvP, I suppose. Night Stalker, Subterfuge, and Shadow Focus all right now do not work with Shadow Dance, and I'm not sure if they will. But however, I have Subterfuge right now, which is after you leave stealth. For 3 seconds after, you can still use your stealth ability. So if I vanish right here, and I can go Shadow Strike, Shadow Strike, Shadow Strike, almost 4, right? As an opener, I suppose that's you know, pretty good. I'm just hitting buttons right now. Don't think I'm a pro rogue or I'm messing up, please. Just trying to show off abilities. But I think it's neat. Shadow Focus would be your abilities cost less energy while stealth, so your opener would just be cheaper. I'm not sure how potent that is. Night Stalker is that when stealth, you do have a 20%, you move faster and your abilities do 50% more damage, so your opener would just do more damage, or whenever you, if it works, it would basically amp up every Shadow Strike by 50% per Shadow Dance, which seems really powerful. So I don't know if these are supposed to work at all with Shadow Dance, or just with... Wow, Weapon Master just procced right there for the first time in forever, which is really funny that I got it on video. Bonk. So these may work, these may not. The weird thing is, Master of Subtlety does work with Shadow Dance. And this is basically 100% uptime. This is attacks made while stealth and for 6 seconds after deal additional 10% damage. Which, I don't know why, but it does work. If I do this and go into stealth, there it is. But I entered and left stealth. But the other abilities here don't work yet. So again, we'll see if they work in the future. Death from Above does actually work properly right now. It will make you woo, bop, and again, does the thing. Weapon Master, as you saw, actually proc, but it's just a random chance. It's a 6% chance every ability hit will attack twice. So if you backstab, it might do 2 backstabs. If you Shadow Strike, it might do 2 Shadow Strikes. If you Eviscerate, it might do 2 Eviscerates. I don't know how it works with the dot. Again, 6% chance, really hard to test. And then Gloomblade upgrades your backstab to be a Shadow Stab. And it does shadow damage. Does not have the 30% extra component. And it doesn't look like it's working. Because doing shadow damage would mean it ignores armor. But like the damage upgrade is just like not there. It doesn't feel like it's properly working right, which is fine. It's alpha beta right now. It's not a big deal because numbers aren't being tuned yet. But if this makes your backstab ignore armor because of shadow damage, that's a huge DPS increase as you scale with gear. Weapon Master needs to be a lot higher of a proc chance or to have a little bit more going on with it, as Master of Sub is just 10% additional damage done. But that's to everything, but this is ignore armor basically, because this is ignore armor on backstab. All of that, I will go over now your cooldown, your 1 cooldown, which is Shadow Blades. 3-minute cooldown, it actually lasts for 12 seconds, but you draw upon the surrounding shadows to empower your weapons, causing your auto attacks to deal pure shadow damage. Again, shadow damage ignores armor, that's magic. And your combo point generating abilities generate an additional combo point when used. More combo points, right? This does not work right now with Gloomblade, it only works with backstab. So I will untarget that, and I'll show your cooldown off here at the very end. So there's 2, there's 2, there's 2. We're gonna hit that, hit right there, hit this right there, hit this right there. Go back up to 5, boop. And one more time. One more backstab for another 2 at the end there. So you can imagine putting up enveloping shadows before you use your cooldown here. Not only are you gaining more combo points on your builders, you're also gaining 10 over 20 seconds as well. And your auto attacks give you combo points, and your artifact will. So, there's the blink there. The animation puts me right behind the wall. Bonk! That's that. I think the Subtlety Rogue has a lot of cool ideas. It may change a lot. We don't know. We'll have to find out in the future. But if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the video section below, in the comment box below. If you want to see the entire VOD, please check out that in the comments below as well, in the description box. Hit that like button. That's been a great deal. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to check out all the other videos that I'm posting for Legion coverage, as well as my other things and my show that I do every Sunday. If you want to watch these streams live, go follow me on twitch.tv/FinalBossTV. And we'll see what changes with the Subtlety Rogue, but for right now, this is how it looks. And I will see you all in the next Legion class summary.